I'm watching an anime right now. Not sure what I can't pronounce the Japanese. What can I? Can I pronounce the Japanese? Nagi no Asukara or Nagiasu a Law in the Sea. And at first I was like, yeah. The first 3 episodes, I was kind of like, am I going to enjoy this one? Am I going to have a good time? But now I'm episode 17. I'm going to say the first 3 episodes are like the roughest ones, and then everything else was an uphill track for this show. First of all, even from like the first 3 episodes, you can tell the visuals and like the concept is really cool, and of course like music wise, like it's just beautifully composed. But then like I just couldn't get along with the characters as much. But now I'm like, oh my god, this is so well done. I would not recommend it, but if you don't like slice of life stuff, because it's definitely a slice of life with a bit of like fantasy aspects to it. But and of course, high school life. So like if you're at the age where you just don't care about that stuff anymore, that's fucking fine. But if you just need something that's like has a bit of a small twist to the whole romance slice of life genre, then I would say that's it. It's a pretty like solid. I would say 7 out of 10. Like I would say like 5 is like definitely like in the middle, right? It's good. 5 is good. So okay, if I say 5 is good, then I would give this more of like a 6 out of 10. Like it's good, but I wouldn't go around talking about it. And then like 1 is of course like don't watch it. Only if you like. I mean, if I can enjoy stuff, but even I know if a show is not great to recommend. But hey, let's see if Property Markers is a good SCP to recommend to people to read. Shall we? And also press that subscribe. Oh boy. Ooh boy. I hope it's just doesn't seem to be that long to be honest. But let's just go. Let's just go. Whew. Save. Euclid. Specimens of SB1563 are contained in a sealed... Did I? I think I did, yeah. Sorry. The sealed vivarium at biocontainment site 84, built to emulate a temperate forest environment, and 10 Otocilius virginianus, white-tailed deer, to be released into the cell on a weekly basis. Any further specimens of SB1563 found in the wild are to be terminated. See Addendum 1. Access file S1 containment addendum, okay. In light of recovery log 2, any new specimens are to be handled with extreme caution and will be stored in a sealed vivarium at biocontainment site 84. This vivarium is separated from the original vivarium used to store the pink specimen of SB1563. Any civilians involved with the capture of a new SB1563 specimens are to be given Class CM Nest 6, and that's all here, okay. Description. SCP-1563 is a predatory organism resembling plastic property boundary markers commonly used in rural areas. Okay, I got it. Okay. Specimens of SCP-1563 resembling plastic property boundary markers. Can I look? I think I understand what it means, but... Yeah, okay, yeah, it's these guys. I thought of something else, but yeah, okay, gotcha. Specimens of SCP-1563 usually exhibit pink coloration with orange and blue coloration being recently discovered. Though more types of colorations are thought to exist, SCP-1563 has very durable and sharp tooth-like structures measuring 1.5 millimeter covering the ventral side of its body. These teeth are used to puncture the skin of its prey. SCP-1563 exhibits a behavior of ambush predators attaching itself to trees or other standing wooden structures. When a prey animal passes by, SCP-1563 will detach and leap onto its target and wrap around its prey neck and strangle it to death before puncturing its neck using sharp teeth and feeding on its blood. God damn! God okay. So they're just like on the ground, and then if you get close, they're just like SCP-1563 preferred prey appears to be the white-tailed deer, and as such poses minimal threat to humans unless provoked or malnourished. SCP-1563 is able to survive for at least 2 weeks without nourishment. SCP-1563 has 2 organs, a small capillary system which is presumably used to process and distribute the consumed blood throughout the body, and the aforementioned teeth, which are structured so that when blood is introduced onto the surface of the teeth, the blood will diffuse into a set of capillaries located immediately under the first layer of the teeth. SCP-1563's mean of locomotion is unknown as no muscle tissue have been discovered. By extension, the means by which SCP-1563 circulates blood is also unknown. If circulation occurs at all, SCP-1563 has an extremely durable cell structure composed of what appears to be a double cell wall. A double cell wall. This double cell wall is literally 2 cell walls, one inner cell wall and one other cell wall, both in addition to the cell membrane, which forms a tight bond with adjacent cells. It is hypothesized that this double cell wall is used to help SCP-1563 stay together when attacking prey so that they are not easily torn. SCP-1563 reproduces asexually. The specimens will split itself into 2 and hunt small prey such as rabbits until it grows to a sufficient size. At that point, it will assume hunting white-tailed deer. This is a wild one. Such an interesting idea. SCP-1563 will occasionally secrete a yellowish-brown substance, presumably waste. The excretion held approximately 1 to 2 hours after they begin. It should be noted that on touch there is no discernible difference between SCP-1563 and a plastic property marker. Which would be so weird if you imagine you hold like a normal one and then SCP-1563 and then a white-tailed deer passes by and the SCP-1563 just jumps out of your hand. It's like, yeah, you just have like as an experiment showing like, okay kids, watch this. What are these? Doc, these look like normal plastic property markers. Why? Okay, watch this. Send in the deer. The deer walks by and then this one's just like and just like and the kids all go like, whoa! What the hell? Yeah, that's what's called an SCP. SCP-1563 came to the Foundation attention following multiple reports of deer strangled using property markers in Virginia. Imagine if that was not an SCP line. Imagine if you read that in our world's news. Deer strangled with property markers. I'd be like, what the fuck's out there strangling deers with property markers? You know what I mean? Like, it would be... In real life, I think that would be even freakier to hear than in the SP world. Undercover Foundation agents investigating the incidents were able to identify the anomalous entity responsible, and a containment team was able to secure several specimens and transport them to temporary storage site. Okay, here we have an access file test log. So we have test log 7. The test purpose to discern whether or not a non-malnourished SCP-1563 specimen has other food preferences. If so, these preferences are thought to be associated with fauna residing in Western North America. So this is the last of such tests, as each prior test has resulted in no response from SCP-1563. Okay. So 7 tests of like seeing if they like any other food. So far, nothing, but this is the tests that have been written down, so we're gonna get something out of it. Involved personnel D4213. Organisms involved, multiple specimens of SCP-1563, 1 American black bear. During this instance of testing, the following events occurred. Upon introducing the bear to the testing environment, the bear became enraged and began to attack D4213, who was the personnel introducing the bear to the environment. 12 instances of SCP-1563 leaped onto the bear and began collaboratively feeding off of it, with 2 instances having wrapped around the neck, 2 around the right front leg, 3 around the left front leg, 3 around the right back leg, and 2 around the left back leg. The bear entered hypovolemia and died 5 minutes after initial attachment. Fuck yeah, that's gruesome. The 12 instances involved attacked the bear unusually quickly, considering that they had been previously fed the usual diet. All 12 instances were observed to be more dormant over the next month, not requiring any nourishment and exceeding the usual lifespan of an unfed instance of SCP-1563. After this, each specimen returned to normal activity. But why? Is it because D4213 was attacked, and because their property markers, they saw the bear as like a danger to their property? No, because the D class introduced the bear into the scenario. This was an unusually fast attack for specimens of SCP-1563. This is a long shot, but the feeling I get is that they were preventing further harm from coming to... That's what I was saying, D4213. Worth noting is that D4213 was selected from a group of convicted criminals having committed a victimless crime as determined by the ethics committee. In the future, I would recommend testing how SCP-1563 reacts in the same situation, but with a D-class selected from a pool of criminals who have done worse. From my past research with other skips, I would suspect that specimens of SCP-1563 have some kind of moral complex. Where they know about the specifics of a wrongdoing committed, they may be able to sense the moral character of a sentient organisms. Researcher Hubei. It will be interesting. We have another test which might show us. This deserves more than 40. This deserves more than 40. I personally think this is a very fascinating SCP idea. I personally think that this deserves to be in the 200 thumbs up rate, and that could be because nobody has witnessed this SCP, or has it's not as common. But I think this deserves more than 40. Test log 7.1. Test purpose here. We will try to further determine whether SCP-1563 displays a protective attitude towards humans, as suggested by researcher Hubei. Okay, now we have D02231. Involves organisms, multiple specimens of, and one Bengal tiger. Okay. I kind of think you should have probably used another bear to, keep it consistent, but sure. D02231 entered the testing environment as well as 6 SCP-1563 specimens. 5 minutes later, a Bengal tiger was introduced to the testing environment. Prior to testing, the tiger was not given any nourishment for 2 days and then was agitated immediately preceding this test using various methods. Once the tiger was introduced to the testing environment, it immediately assumed a stalking posture. At this time, the SCP-1563 specimens were attached to the trees in the vivarium. The SCP-1563 specimens then began to detach themselves from the trees. The tiger pounced onto D02231, causing a massive laceration on his left arm. The SCP-1563 specimens then dove off of the tree and began to attack and feed on the tiger. The tiger then died approximately 4 minutes later due to hypovolemia, similar to the bear in the previous test. So they do have some sort of protective manner. But the question is it only with humans that they're protective like this, or is it something else? We know that the Bengal tiger is not native to the area in which we initially found SCP-1563, and to date we have not found any SCP-1563 specimen in Southern Asia. This is further evidence that SCP-1563 may be protective over humans, as the Bengal tiger should not hypothetically be in the diet of SCP-1563. Okay, that's a good way to test it. D02231 was selected from a similar pool of convicted criminals as D4213. I still recommend testing this with other D-class of low moral standing. Okay, so now we see that the same moral standing seems to be protected, but now, you guys have to try and then the one to see if it works with people who are absolute scum. Doing a lab test to first study SCP-1563's anatomy, researcher noticed microscopic text on the dorsal side of SCP-1563 specimen body, which displayed the words "pink protect." Testing is underway to view both the dorsal and ventral side of each SCP-1563 specimen currently contained. This text implies that there are SCP-1563 specimens that exhibit a different color. A retrieval mission is underway to obtain new colors of SCP-1563. So, were they just purely lucky then? Was that just a pure luck-based incident? Because what if it was not the pink one? What if it was a different one? Then they would have lost the D-class and be like, oh shit, well. They wouldn't have never guessed that there's a protective side. Maybe. Who knows? Let's go on. This seems to confirm my suspicion, but the inclusion of pink on this label implies that there are other colors of SCP-1563, perhaps with other properties. Today we have only discovered pink specimens. I am immediately requesting further examination of SCP-1563 initial recovery site, and then we will determine where to go from there. Researcher Hubei. Okay, addendum 2. I'm digging this SCP, to be honest. I think it's really good. Addendum 2. A group of 7 SCP-1563 specimens with orange coloration were recovered at near area. Upon immediately examination, each displayed text on the ventral side of the body stating "Orange Restrict." All specimens were actively hostile towards personnel not assigned to area. This resulted in severe injuries to researcher. It's currently unknown why these specimens were discovered in such close proximity to high priority Foundation base. It's been months since we had any new developments with this SCP, but here it is. I conjecture that this also confirms my previous suspicion that 1563 can anomalously sense things it should not otherwise have any way of knowing. For instance, how would the orange specimens have known what personnel are assigned to area and what personnel aren't? That's what it means with restrict, as in like restricting the passage. They don't even have a nervous system in which to store such information, researcher Hubei. Like, they're restricting the path. Anybody who doesn't belong to this property gets fucking attacked, okay? In the months of following the discovery of orange-colored SB-1563 specimens, a group of 4 blue specimens were recovered near California, an area known to be particularly dry. Text was discovered on the dorsal side displaying blue drench. During examination, no extraordinary features were discovered aside from the color and text. 4 days after examination of the specimen, a small non-destructive fire occurred on site. Approximately 5.4 seconds later, the area contained the fire was instantly extinguished, and a large amount of water was subsequently found around the area of the fire drench. And it's also blue, so it makes sense. No personnel were in this part of the site at the time to extinguish the fire. It is now assumed that specimens of blue coloration serve the purpose of preventing fires or to assist in situations with a high lack of moisture. Further testing is planned. This would actually be really useful for forest fires. Just put a couple property markers of blues around the forest, and then there's a forest fire, just psh, literally 5.4 seconds, 5 seconds after the fire happens, man. This would be a cool idea. It should be noted that both these specimens have the same anatomy of the pink specimen, aside from the color and the effects accompanied by them. And then we have an recovery log, which is the oh boy, that's long. This is a long one. Close file. Following multiple carvings related to deaths in the cave near, and subsequent reports of plastic black ribbons closely associated with the deaths, researchers suspected that this was involved with a new instance of SB-1563. The following is a video log transcript of the subsequent investigation. Man, you just have the whole color of the rainbow. What does green do? What does yellow do? Red. Purple. Maybe there's even more color. Maybe there's even like magenta and turquoise or beige. Recovery log 2. Date. Foundation Recovery Team 5-5. Subject, the SCP-1563. Team member, Psi-5, 1 and 2. Team lead, 9. Okay, so we have 3 people. Comms activity. Team confirm. Confirm. Communications confirmed. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this one has this one's a safe, but we may be stepping into unknown ground here. Stay frosty. 5-5, 9. You could deploy. Loud and clear. Let's go. The team enters the cave with P59 taking the lead. P52 videos features a large amount of yellowish brown substance around the top of the entrance of the cave, which is the waste, right? Look up. We know these things are expelling waste. That's gotta be what it is. You're right. Keep an eye out on the roof of the cave, but don't get too distracted. Skips can be clever bastards. The team continues further into the cave, which has maintained a mostly horizontal orientation until now. They have reached a steep vertical drop. That's a deep drop. We going in there? We'll have to. It would be a poor taste to leave empty-handed. We've seen evidence of 1563, but no actual specimen yet. We have to at least leave knowing whether something's in here or not. Then they can bring in a larger team for recovery. 2. I want you to stay up here to secure myself and one descent. We need to help getting back up to you. You should be fine. We haven't found anything in the cave up to this point, so if anything is in here, it's down there. Understood, Tim? Understood. Understood. Alright. 1, let's do it. P59 and P51 began securing grapple equipment into the cave floor. Once the safety of this is checked, they begin. Been a while since I've done this. You'll be fine. Just remember you were training. Approximately 5 minutes after the descent began, P51 and P59's video feeds were disconnected from Site Command's communication, but the audio remained connected in P52's local feed. The video feed shown here was recovered later. Jesus, how deep is this? It's a cave. Shouldn't go this far. Relax. We're almost there. 2 more minutes pass and the floor of the drop is visible on both P59 and P51's video feed. Steady 1. We're about to hit the bottom. 2. Please make sure the ropes are secure for our descent later. Let me know if our feed begins to drop. Will do. Be careful down there. Almost immediately following this, P52's video feed cut out and Site Command lost contact with 1 and 9 as a result. Whoa. You hear that? Yeah. 2. Do you copy? A loud thud can be heard from behind P51, who turned around to see P52 laying on the ground, presumably expired. Ooh, shit! 2 black SCP-1563 specimens are visible around Dash 2's neck, but this is apparently unnoticed by P51 and P59. Following this, Dash 1's feet showed a long cord of rope fall down beside Dash 2's body. Oh shit, how? What happened? Fuck. Fuck. The leaves on one rope for ascent. This is why they tell you not to get attached one. SATCOM will send someone back in here eventually, but for now we press on. We're not done in here yet. Keep steady and follow me. As they continue, an increasing amount of the yellow-brown substance is seen along the walls, but still no signs of SCP-1563. Well, there was, but they just didn't see it. We're getting close. Stay close to me. 1. Let me know if you see anything. They come up upon an opening in the cave, inside of which there is clearly a large amount of SCP-1563 of many different coloration, including colors that have been previously undiscovered. Oh shit. That is not good. Oh shit. It's like they're just collectively driving around. Jesus, I've never seen anything like it. 1. I want you to help me examine these things. There's text on the sides. Just try to a close shot of both sides of every color specimen. The boys at the lab can look at this footage while they send a proper recovery team to get these things out. They both do this for specimens of the following colors: green, red, black, blue, pink, yellow, and purple. Note that the video feed shows a much higher concentration of black specimens than any other color. During this examination, P51 picks up what appears to be a notebook. He opens it to the first page and briefly examines it before putting the journal back and continuing the task at hand. P51 does not notify P59 of this. Alright, that should be good. From what I can tell, that covers all the colors. Let's go. You're not going to tell us what the colors do? On a trip back to the vertical drop, multiple orange specimens are seen around the cave. They begin to move towards P51 and P59. Shit! Run! They easily outrun the specimens of SCP-1563 and quickly thereafter reach the ascension rope. P51 turns around to see a few orange specimens still pursuing them. These things only gonna support one of us. Sorry, kid. No. That's an order from your team lead. You stay here to secure my ascent, and you can follow me once I give you the okay. P51 doesn't respond. P59 mounts the rope and begins his ascent, while P51 watches, frequently glancing at the approaching orange SCP-1563 specimens. Seconds pass, and P51 looks at P52's body to see the black specimens of SCP-1563 detached from P52's neck. P51 backs away from his body, but stops when he sees that the black specimens have begun to rapidly ascend the rope. At this time, the orange specimens of SCP-1563 stop moving towards P51, began to move back into the deeper part of the cave from which they came. Oh. Something you want to say, 1? No. A minute passes and P51 observes P59 climbing down the rope. There's a black SCP-1563 specimen around his neck. Go on. You earned it. P59 motions towards the rope. What? That's an order from your team lead. Leave. P59's speech seems strained at this point. P51 obliges and begins to ascend. What is I thought the black ones were like trying to kill them, but maybe the black ones are trying to make them do the opposite. So like instead of like, you know, make sure to like secure the rope and stay up there. The moment the splash attached, he detached the rope and jumped off. Maybe. P51's video feed shows him glancing back down upon P59's occasionally, only to see him sitting next to P52's body. The last clear view of the floor of the drop that P51's video feed obtained showed multiple red specimens approaching P51 9. P51 finishes his ascent 15 minutes later and regained contact with SATCOM shortly thereafter. The video footage in this log was recovered from P51's V storage upon his return to site. The following is the only text visible in the journal upon opened by P51 in the recovery log. The roads got no more character. This will fix that. Considering these events, I'm requesting that the object class of SCP-1563 be upgraded to Euclid. We don't know if this is the only source of these things. Researcher hereby approved. Object class is now Euclid. I'm currently personally reviewing the containment procedures. Site Administrator Harding. And now we have another addenda. Oh, here we go. Upon further examination of the specimen data recovered from the cave near each specimen of SCP-1563 has a different microscopic text written on the dorsal side. These are the findings. So pink is protect, red is purge, which, yeah, that sounds like almost like restrict. Black control, orange restrict, blue drench, purple ignite, and green is heal. Oh, there's a healing one. That's good to know. That's good to know that there's a healing one. Yeah, okay, I gotta honestly say, I'm not sure if this video is gonna help at all with the upvotes, but people, this one deserves more than 40. It deserves more than 40 upvotes. In the rating, it's definitely a lot better than that. So I hope that people who watch this video who are locked into the site will give it a upvote and maybe just increase it by a couple more numbers.